How's it all going with the campaign for a start?
It's been good. We've had a lot of volunteers coming out to support the party all over the constituency. It's a big constituency, as you probably know, from Langham to Dumfries to Kirkconnell. So we've got volunteers in all of those areas that have been out helping contact people, get letters through the door, get leaflets out, and we're doing voter identification as well. So it's been good.
And what's your vision for the south of Scotland and Dumfriesshire?
Yeah, so the big ticket items are always connectivity, energy, skills and housing. And we produce a lot of energy. That's one of the themes that runs through the national campaign, because we really need to be in control of that energy to get the best for the communities where it's produced. So I've got a lot of communities in Dumfriesshire where they feel the impact of the development, but they don't see the benefit in the prices, because all of that's controlled by Westminster.
And you're really, this borderland onto England is always difficult, isn't it? Because it tends to run more to the right than the left, and it tends to run more to the Tory than the SNP. Not 100%, but you know, Mundell and David and his son and all. How are you feeling that at the moment? Because there's this other pressure from reform as well.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing about the borderlands is what it does acknowledge is there's a border. Scotland's on one side, England's on the other. It doesn't mean that communities don't share similar challenges, but fortunately in Scotland we've got a government that actually tries to protect the people and give them opportunity, and what happens on the other side of the border, you know, that's up to the people who live there. But I think that's the distinction, the shared interest with the borderlands, and we've seen funding come for that just this week to help Stranraer Marina. We've got investments into Dumfries and Galloway College. We've got investments into Kirkconnell and Keller Home for their place plan. So there's benefits we can get from the Borderlands deal, and the Scottish Government's putting money into that. So I think we have to recognise there's a shared geographical interest, but it's a border between Scotland and England, and they are distinct places.
Yeah, we actually made a film, oh gosh, 2018 or 17 maybe, about that very issue of the border, because it's quite a thing of the border, isn't it? Because it can actually generate a lot of business simply by people wanting to trade both sides of the border and all the different things. I mean, just a cafe on the border or a petrol station, again, it generates, doesn't it? Or in the old days when I used to travel around Europe, you had to stop at every border to get your money for the next country. You know, I mean, how does that all fit in with your thinking?
So it's got to the point where borders are so normal, and yet for some reason this has been built up as if it's something remarkable. And really, I think that's the thing that astounds me the most. It confounds me, the fact that it's so normal to be next door neighbours to another country, and it's the same all over the world. And I think for Scotland to be independent next door to a neighbour where we've got a common travel area agreement like Ireland, I just really don't see, I mean, it's easy for me to say I don't see the big issue, but obviously a lot of people are maybe worried by the change or the idea of it, but I think there's opportunities more so than threats.
It just reminded me of a time when I was travelling a lot in Europe doing shows everywhere, and my wee boy was with me because I was a single parent at that time. Okay. And I walked him down a street. It was a shopping street in a town, and the border post was right in the middle of that shopping street. You know, it seems kind of ludicrous, but of course if you travel around Europe you do find that the Belgians are different from the Dutch, and the Dutch are certainly different from the French, and so forth and so on. But this common travel area, I'm not sure if that many people really grasp the importance of that bit of legislation. It was 1920, I think, and it was really to do with the business of Northern Ireland separating from the southern part. It is an enormous piece of legislation which does allow you and I, and it wasn't put out by us belonging to the European Union, it still stayed in situ, and it will still stay in situ at independence, won't it?
I can't see any reason why not. I mean, Ireland, the Republic of Ireland's an independent country. Has been, you know, and that's since partition, I think, when you're talking about. So that's over 100 years ago. Irish people come and work in the UK. British people, Scottish people, Northern Irish people go and work in Ireland. People are free to roam. There's no, I think that's the understanding just for these isles. That's a practical and pragmatic solution for day-to-day business.
It's actually the reason you go to the Isle of Man and to the Channel Islands too without a passport. Well, airports seem to need to have a passport whether you're going 2 minutes down the road or not.
They might have a slightly different status because they have, I think, is it dominions or protectorates, or you know,
Yes.
there's some other status. But yeah, but no, there's no. I don't think. I think it's not. I think people naturally fear or are anxious about change for what they're accustomed to, and that sometimes upsets maybe the ideas of how the world's structured in what they're used to. But that in and of itself can be sort of helped by, well, actually, here's an example where it works. It's actually pretty easy, but sometimes people need time to adjust to a change, and I think that's quite psychologically normal. However, it's not a good enough reason to not do something that's good for you, I think.